Hello, everybody. It's my privilege to introduce to you, all the way from the south side of Chicago, the man, the myth, the legend, my Theo, your brother, the South Side Unicorn.
Take me in your arms, do just what you want. You're the one I trust. I belong to you, and I'll always be around when I need some loving, baby. And I'll never let you down, let you down, let you down. I'm your song, and you're playing all my melodies. There's no one else, 'cause baby we got chemistry. You give me feelings that I never knew. This heart of mine will always and forever belong to you. You and me were meant to be as one. The universe has known it all along. Maybe this is where our story starts. Maybe it was written in the stars, written in the stars. You, me, forever, yeah. You, me, written in the stars. You, me, forever, yeah. You, me.
Hey, everybody. That's right. It's me, Ken White, host of the Southside Unicorn Show, and it is the Sunday show, Smooth Sundays. And have I got a treat for you? It's a double treat because you got yours truly. But now let me introduce you to Lelita AMICK. She's one of the people that makes the show possible. She's a sponsor of the Southside Unicorn Show, an American patriot, and it is my great honor and privilege to introduce you to her. Hi.
Hi, Kenny. I'm delighted to be here. This is Lita with Home Sales for Heroes, a patriot, and yes, I am a proud sponsor of the Southside Unicorn Show.
And thank you so much for that. The audience thanks you too because you help us to be on the air. Now, everybody, as you know, on Sundays we just we normally would do a normally relaxed show, and oftentimes issues for women, relationships, faith, those are the type of topics. We're going to still stick to that. But this is something that everybody really needs. You know, you don't want to be a renter too long in life. You know, the word rent is a Jewish word, and it actually means, let me see if I can remember this right. The word rent means wasted wine. So you don't want to be a renter all your life. You want to be a homeowner, because with home ownership comes a stock in the city you belong to. You know, you hear people always say, when they're talking to a public servant like a fireman or a cop or whatever, I pay your salary. Not really. When you stop to think about being an ex-cop, you know, when you take the average person's, you know, tax that they pay, it's a little bit. It chips in a little bit. But when you're a homeowner, oh, that's a different ball of wax right there. You have equity. You have stake in the city. You actually help to bring up the value of a city as a homeowner. Am I right, Lita?
That is correct. And there are some stresses involved to being an eternal renter also, because you never know when that landlord is going to sell that property. The rent may go up, and guess what? There are things you can't do in a rental that you can do in your own home. They might not want you putting nails in the in the holes in the walls,
Mm-hmm.
Or you can only have one dog, or you can have no pets at all.
Or, even worse, that loud neighbor upstairs.
Yeah, that's no fun.
Exactly.
And you could be that loud neighbor upstairs. You might want to be that loud neighbor upstairs, but you can't because you're upstairs.
Right, huh? Yeah. And in your own house, whether it's upstairs or downstairs, or in California, what, most homes come in 2-story, or are they 1-story?
Well, yes. To maximize the use of land, they started building 2-story homes, but there is a lot of requests for 1-story homes, a lot of times by people who are getting older. Mm-hmm. If you take a look at some of the planned communities, Sun City, Menifee area is a good example of that. Those are all 1-story homes.
Well, that's interesting to know. You know, I've always been a partial fan to the the homes from the 1950s and 60s that had that like sunken living room and all that kind of stuff going on? Do they still have any of those around?
Surprisingly, they do, and most people hate them.
Really? Oh, leave it up to me to be the one that likes a house like that, right? I've always been partial to those homes. But you know, Lita, how long have you been in real estate?
I've been active in real estate since 2002.
Wow, let's see, that's 17 years, huh?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So I'm sure you've seen it come and go, huh?
Yes, I have. And we're in an interesting time right now. We've got some issues, as you know, going on in California, which has caused some things to go up, like gas, which will actually cause everything to go up. So it kind of gives buyers a little bit of pause there. Mm-hmm. We might be a little bit slower in real estate, but I'll tell you what, the interest rates are fabulous.
And is that, like in stock markets, they say it's a bear market or a bull market. Whose market is this? Is it a buyer's market or a realtor's market right now? Who's making out?
Well, buyer or seller, it's actually a pretty good market for both. Because it has slowed down a little bit, I think that does make it a buyer's market. It makes it easier for a professional realtor such as myself to negotiate some seller closing costs on top of the benefits I get for heroes.
Okay. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, as always, we like to try to bring you some good content on the Southside Unicorn Show, and we run through the gamut during the week, and you know it, from Funked Up Fridays to What's Up Saturdays. Now we're into Smooth Sundays. And, you're at home, you're relaxing, you're giving praise to the Lord in some way or another, I'm sure. And what better way on a Sunday evening than to take in, Lita and Ken and learn some stuff about the real estate game. Maybe you're a young couple. Maybe you're a couple that's thinking of leaving the state of California, or you want to come to the state of California. And guess what? I'm talking to all of our listeners from Japan, Sweden, Holland, Dubai, because we get the demographics and we can see. And we have listeners all around the world. So if you are in the mind to sell your home, if you're in the mind to buy a home in the state of California, no matter where you are or where you're trying to go, let's do it the right way. Let's sew into each other. Let's, look at Lita and see if there's any way she can help you. So, Lita, if there's anybody right now who's just ready to get with it and do it, how do they get in touch with you?
My telephone number, I prefer text or a phone call rather than email, because I get about 300 of those a day. And it's not from clients, so and I don't want to miss talking to a client, believe me. Mm-hmm. So the most efficient way to get a hold of me is to text me. It's 760-637-1375. Call or text. I'm wonderful about picking up my phone. And I'd like to talk a little bit about the Heroes program, too, if I might.
Of course you can. Okay. I mean, and when you say Homes for Heroes, let me see. I'm thinking if you're talking about heroes, you got to be talking about first responders and people like that.
Oh, absolutely. I'm talking about military, all first responders, which includes law enforcement, firefighters, EMTs, people in the medical field. And we actually also include teachers in the Homes for Heroes.
And I'm going to tell you, I'm a little vexed about teachers right now because of that AB 329. But I have the deepest respect for real teachers, the ones that are educating children and helping them to discover themselves and not fill them with opinions. So that's really nice that they're now being looked at as part of the first responder family. So bittersweet for me. I'm happy, but I'm also a little bit concerned about it. So, okay, you got a military member, young soldier who did 4 years. He did 4 years and he's out. Does he still qualify for the Homes for Heroes?
Absolutely. And I love dealing with first-time buyers. The best thing, in my opinion, that anybody can do for their financial freedom is to buy a home.
Yeah.
And I love to help the first-time buyers. The military people are wonderful. I mean, they put their lives on the line. I feel that way really about all the people I work with. And I work for law enforcement and medical workers, and I just appreciate them beyond words can say. Because
so let me ask you, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I guess I'm trying to put myself back in my days when I was a young airman and I just got out of the military. You know, that first couple months out of the military is kind of scary because you don't have a job or what have you, right? What does a young military family have to do to begin to qualify for the Homes for Hero program?
Well, the first thing that I have them do is I would like them to talk to one of my hero lenders.
Okay.
And I've got a couple of good hero lenders. They're awesome. They're enthusiastic. They want to help you. And the wonderful thing about the hero lenders that I deal with, especially when you have a VA loan, there are things that VA will not allow our military personnel to pay for on a VA loan.
Oh, really?
And my
Like what?
lender, their closing costs on the statement. You know, you get a settlement statement before you close, and they may charge for little details that they're not supposed to pay for. And there's a certain way when I go to write the offer for the military person.
You put a little extra effort into
I
it.
do. There are certain verbiage that needs to go in there because sometimes sellers are a little skittish about selling VA
Okay.
because they think they're going to have to pay for something that they don't. And I take care of that when I write the offer.
Okay. So you're saying like a civilian who wants to just sell their home, when they see that it's going to a vet, they're a little apprehensive?
Right. They may think that they're going to have to pay for some closing costs that VA doesn't allow, and that's not true.
Okay. And we're going to discuss that in the next 4 weeks. Pardon me, everybody. We're going to discuss that in the next 4 weeks. What it is that you have to be prepared for. What are these strange nuances? Because now we have Lelita AMICK, and she is a real estate professional. This part of the show, this part of the program, is part of that real-time help that we're talking about in our new America. We're going to have to help each other. We're going to have to sew into each other. And on the Southside Unicorn Show, we took a great look at this, Lita and myself, and we said, is this something that we can do that offers a good to the public? And as you can hear, it's going to be really good. We're going to be giving out a lot of good information, a lot of pointers. I suspect that by the time we're done doing the 4-week module, a person should be ready to pick up the phone and call you and say, Lita, we're ready. Help us get that home. Am I right?
Well, I would certainly like to help them. There are many layers to real estate, but a professional real estate agent that's been doing this for a while and is aware of all the different buyer programs, which actually benefits a seller too, should be able to take them through the process where it's not so stressful to the person in the transaction.
Well, Lita, I know that you're new to the game, and we're going to get even better at this as we go along, but it's time for a station break, so we're going to be right back after these messages, okay? Everybody stay tuned. We'll be back with Lita with more information on real estate and issues of the day.
Take me in your arms, do just what you want. You're the one I trust.
Hi, friends. Kim White here, host of the Southside Unicorn Show. Tax season is upon us. Make your money go further. Simply repair the car you own now and save money. Go see my friend Jake at Redlands Complete Auto Repair, or RCAR, Car for short, located at 1647 Redlands Boulevard, Suite L, 92327, or call 909-307-9599. Tell him Ken sent you, or better yet, tell him you saw a unicorn and received 10% discount and free diagnosis on the 10 freeway, exit Alabama off-ramp, head south to Redlands Boulevard, then turn west. He's on your left-hand side, Suite L. Look for the big red L, our car, Redlands Complete Auto Repair. Work you can trust. I know I do.
What you want, you're the one I trust. I belong.
Hey, everybody. This is Kim White. Thank you for staying into the second segment. And we have Lita and myself here. Lita is with Homes for Heroes.
That is correct. Home sales for heroes.
And that really sounds like an interesting and very patriotic program. And that's why I said to you, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to want to stick out, stay tuned and listen for the next few weeks. I mean, it's not like she's going to go anywhere. She's with the show for a minute here now. This is a fixture to the show. But for the next 4 weeks, we're going to start giving you information every Sunday. So you better have your pen and your paper ready, because we're going to start hooking you up with information on how to really become prepared to be a homeowner. But for right now, for those of you who have a real estate need, you want to sell your home, you want to buy a home, like I said in the first segment, you can be as far as Dubai or Detroit. If you want to come to California, Lita is the person you want to contact. If you're leaving California and you just want to like get out of here and get your house sold, right? Am I saying that right, Lita?
Well, I have sold listed houses for people who have left California.
And that way, sadly, we need everybody here. But if you just got a boogie, if you got to go ahead and give Lita a call, throw that house at her. She'll hold on to it for you and get it sold and, take care of it if I'm right on how that goes. Because I don't know real estate. You know real estate. So guess what? The Southside Unicorn, a.k.a. Ken White. I'm going to be quiet for a minute. Lita, tell them what's up.
Well, thank you, Ken. The idea, if you are listing your home, is we want to present it in the best light possible and make it as easy as possible to be able to purchase your home. That's where the Home Sales for Heroes comes in, actually, because that kind of gives you a leg up on who you can sell your house to, and they are motivated buyers, because they live in the area. Policemen cannot do their job in California and live in Oregon. They need to be here. Same with the medical personnel, the firefighters, teachers, everyone. Mm-hmm. You're talking to an audience that's available to you as a seller all the time. And we want your house to look as good as possible, to market it at the right price so that you can get what you want and be on your way.
Exactly. And this is one of those times that yours truly, I'm going to brag a little bit. I love my audience, or should I now say our audience. We have one of the best audiences in the game because they are truly, motivated people. They're homeowners. They have the income to be able to purchase a home. So it's really a good nexus here where we have you on the show. Our listeners are there. You're going to be able to get that house purchased or sold. But Lita, I really think at this point, how do they just get absolutely in touch with you? You did it in the first segment, but I think we ought to do it one more time.
Thank you, Ken. Well, of course, I want you to have my California state license number, which is 00559068. Please call or text me at 760-637-1375, and I will be happy to answer questions. If all you have is just a question, I'll be happy to help you with that too.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's the way we're trying to do it. Aren't you sick and tired of picking up a phone, trying to get service from somebody? For English, press 1. For a foreign language, press 2. If you're here for this, please hold for the next call. Aren't you tired of that? Wouldn't you like to get back down to just regular old America where you pick up the phone, you have a question, and someone answers? Someone like Lelita AMICK, who knows what you're very, very versed in your industry, 17 years, my goodness. So you call that number if you have a home or you want to buy a home or you just have a question, and you're going to pick up, huh?
I am.
Do you have a cutoff, like don't call me after midnight, or?
Well, I had a client who was very nervous, and they called me at 11 p.m. I answered the phone.
Look at you. See, and that's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to just get that good old-fashioned, good breath of fresh air again, this is how it happens. We're here. We're offering the services to you. We're offering the show to you. Now, you have to do your part. Get involved. Take advantage of what we're offering. I remember a gentleman when I had a business deal years back. He could have easily faxed me all the stuff. He didn't do that. He insisted that we meet for lunch. That we meet for lunch and shake hands and all that stuff. And what it sounds like, ladies and gentlemen, is with Lita, you're going to get a personal touch. You're going to have that person that's not going to just take your home and you're wondering, what's going on? You're going to stay in touch with them, huh?
I am. I have a good communication team, too. So it's everything. You can't do everything yourself, but you should have everything that needs to be done within your team. Mm-hmm. And that's how we operate. And we will take care of you. Whether you're talking to my transaction coordinator, my Homes for Heroes lender, we will be taking care of you because it is personal to you. So that makes it personal to us.
And that is what you want when you're selling or buying a home. Because if all it is to them is a feather in their cap. Oh, if I don't make you a deal, I'll buy it myself. I don't know about that. That to me, and I'm not in your industry, and I'm not trying to knock nobody, but that makes me a little nervous. That sounds kind of sketch, you know.
Well, I don't want to talk about that right now. But
Okay, all right. Because see, I'm just keeping it real.
I don't do that. No, I don't do that.
Right.
But there is a method, and I was aware of it, but I haven't updated myself lately on how that's working. Mm-hmm. But in the past, I know the agreement is they will buy it at a specific price.
See, and that's what I'm saying. That sounds sketch to me because watch this. I'm from the south side of Chicago, don't you know? So to me, that sounds like a hustle because watch this. Your house ain't going to get sold and now you got to take this agreed upon deal and now you're out of your house and you're glad to be out of it, but you're out of it at an already agreed upon price, which means what really is that person's motivation to sell your house for anything higher than what they were already offering you? Hello. So I'm done with that, right? I'm just talking as a regular person.
What? As a regular person, I can see your point on that.
See what I'm saying? I know a hustle when I see a hustle. I know a hustle when I smell a hustle.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm trying to steer you all to Lelita AMICK because this is the real deal. This is good old Americana, basic, pick up the phone, build that relationship. She's going to either sell your house to somebody or get you a house going. Doesn't matter where you are on the planet. Do you hear what I'm saying? On the planet. You hear this show as far as Sweden. I mean, we have a listenership in Sweden. It's pretty decent.
I've been to Sweden. It's an awesome country.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I'm going to get my chance to go there. And so whether you're coming in from the world to the world, whether you're in, Detroit trying to get, to Duarte, Lelita AMICK is the person you want to talk to. You're going to get a good handshake. It's going to be a good deal. And none of that razzle-dazzle, razzle-matazz. Just a good old American deal. So, speaking of America and good old American deals, I want to ask you some questions. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's about real estate. Yes, Sundays are going to be about that. That's your edumocation day to learn how to get ready to buy real estate or to sell your property. Or if you even have a question, you know how to get the question to Lelita. Go onto the show, go to our Spreaker site, leave your message there, and or Lelita's going to give you an email address that you can contact her, and that way we can either, one, discuss your question on the air the next week, or she'll respond back to you, at her earliest opportunity. So, Lelita, let's get that email address out there, too, while we're here.
It's an easy one. L for Lita, F for Frank, AMICK @gmail.com. lfamick@gmail.com.
lfamick@gmail.com. That is easy enough. And they can hit you with an email for a question or...
Absolutely.
Okay, so there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We have begun to answer your real estate questions and conundrums or any of the frustrations that you may have out there. And trust me, with a market like this, I'm pretty sure you're probably frustrated. So if you've already reached the point where you're like, I'm not feeling my realtor or this or that, you may as well pick up the phone and shoot that email and let's get you back on track to getting what you want, because that's Lelita AMICK's goal, which is to tend to the needs of the buyer or the seller. Very rare people, very rare chance. This ain't a hustle. This person is here for you. Take advantage of it. We talk about the real estate game, and my mind turns to the country itself. The country's real estate, right?
Yes, it is.
It's our home, right?
Every square inch of it.
Oh, it's a lot of square inches, too. My goodness. And my mind turns to, the immigration issue. This is me asking. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm asking because I'm doing what I feel that anybody who had the privilege and the opportunity to sit in front of a professional like Lelita, they would ask these questions. What do you think about our immigration, situation? Is it going to get better or worse for me? What do you think?
Well, okay. I like to look at it like this, okay? You cannot have a house without walls.
That's true.
You cannot have a sovereign country without borders.
That's true.
Now, I'm not exactly sure. I don't have a crystal ball, but generally before things get better, when they have been off kilter and not right, they usually get worse. And that's, it's kind of like catching the flu or something, it gets worse before you get better. And I kind of think that's what's going to happen right now because from my understanding, everything I've been following and reading is that border. That's a 2,000-mile porous border.
Real porous. I mean, bad. When you have 100, what was it last month? 100,000 people came into the country, and all they did was put them on Greyhound buses and send them to San Bernardino.
Right. Yeah, I know. That's pretty sad. And I think we're going to have more issues with diseases. The report is that Ebola did breach the border in Texas.
Ouch.
These people aren't just coming from Mexico. They're coming from all countries in South America and every place else. The Ebola came from the Congo.
Mm-hmm.
And I think these are going to be issues and problems that we should be concerned about. And I think, like any good steward, we should have boundaries. We have boundaries in our family. There are things we teach our children not to do. We have boundaries at work. There are even laws protecting people's boundaries at work.
Mm-hmm.
So I really do feel that we need to look at the whole thing, that we do need to have borders and boundaries. They need to be respected. You know, the big thing right now is Trump taxing Mexico, right?
Yeah, the tariffs. Yeah, the tariffs.
Because we do have products that are being manufactured in Mexico, and that's going to affect our prices, probably especially in California, because the gas tax is going to cause everything.
Well, let me ask you a question. Are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to pay the cost to be the boss?
I'm willing to pay that price temporarily because I don't think it's going to be permanent. And
Okay.
I think that from the Trump's perspective, this is how I see it. Is like when you've warned somebody, you've asked them, you've told them, and they're not listening to you, then you have to do exactly what any good businessman would do, and that's hit them right in the pocketbook.
Exactly, and unfortunately, the Democrat Party has left this man no choice. He tried to use our legal system. He even tried to enlist their help. He's getting none. So he does have to use what tools are available to him to make this thing happen. And if you got to get my opinion in there, I'm actually proud of him. Because Bush, whichever one, take your pick. Mm-hmm. The Clintons, if I should say that, this Obama guy, none of them did anything. Mm-hmm. They want to say he was the exporter in chief, talking about President Obama. A lot of flash and a lot of razzmatazz, but at the same time, we now have Ilhan Omar, compliments of Obama's immigration policy. If it wasn't for his immigration policies, there's no way she'd be in Congress right now today. Would you agree or disagree with that?
Oh, I totally agree with that. I think that America for a long time has had what I call a kind of a codependent nature. In other words, we got to take care of everybody who asks us. It's like having a drug-addicted family member.
You're funny, Lelita.
Well, what happens? What do? They don't have any place to sleep, so
they got to crash with you and
that's
all that
right.
on your couch and all that.
Then they steal your stuff.
Oh my goodness! Hey, you know what? Speaking of stealing stuff, we're gonna have to steal a little bit of time and get back to a commercial right quick, and we will be right back after these messages. Go nowhere. We have Lelita AMICK with us today on the Smooth Sunday, and we're going into segment 3 when we come back. We'll be right back after these messages. Stay tuned.
Take me in your arms, do just what you want. You're the one I trust.
Hi friends, Kim White here, host of the Southside Unicorn Show. Tax season is upon us. Make your money go further. Simply repair the car you own now and save money. Go see my friend Jake at Redlands Complete Auto Repair, or RCAR, our car for short. Located at 1647 Redlands Boulevard, Suite L, 92327, or call 909-307-9599. Tell them Ken sent you, or better yet, tell them you saw a unicorn and received 10% discount and free diagnosis. On the 10 freeway, exit Alabama off-ramp, head south to Redlands Boulevard, then turn west. He's on your left-hand side, Suite L. Look for the big red L, our car, Redlands Complete Auto Repair. Work you can trust. I know I do.
When I see a new broadcast from the Southside Unicorn, I can't wait to listen to it. You just never know what he's going to say.
It's Joy Villa, and I'm reminding you to tune in to the Southside Unicorn Show, hosted by my friend Ken White.
Do just what you want. You're the one I trust. I belong.
Hey, this is Ken White, host of the Southside Unicorn Show, and you are with us in Lelita, AMICK on the third segment of Smooth Sundays. And we were talking about real estate and issues of the day. They're kind of tying into each other and going back and forth. And on the second segment, we were indeed talking about immigration and some of the things that are going on with our country, some of the presidents and the things they were doing. And here's another question that I've been itching to ask Lita, and I'm glad I have you here with me today, because I understand people are going to be buying homes and selling homes throughout eternity. That's just going to happen.
Exactly.
But what's going on with the real estate industry because of undocumented or illegal, whatever word you want to use, is it impacting the real estate industry at all?
Well, it always does, and I don't think people think in these terms. But let's just pick a couple of topics here related to that. People complain that they don't have low-income housing. And we should have a starter point. We should have low-income housing as a starter point for all citizens. But you've got to understand that who is living in this low-income housing.
You know, like when I was growing up, I don't mean to cut you off, I just want to answer. When I was growing up in Chicago, there was low-income housing, and they called it Cabrini Greens. Woo! You don't want to go near Cabrini Greens, trust me. In fact, if people got hurt or shot or whatever, when you call for the ambulance, as we used to call it, when you call for the ambulance, they would tell you, you got to bring that person out of Cabrini Greens and meet us at this telephone booth, and we will pick them up there. But even emergency services wouldn't respond to Cabrini Greens. Is that what you're talking about? Is that kind of...
No, I'm not, actually.
Okay, I'm being a little bit overboard, huh? I just got to go by my memories from the hood.
It was interesting. I was sitting there thinking,
me,
I come from South Dakota. We didn't have any of those kind of shootings because everybody was armed. We did not have things like,
well, what a coincidence. Everybody in Chicago is armed, too.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not the arms. Maybe it's a state of mind. Maybe it's the way you were raised, because you're right. You had guns, and people in Chicago got guns, too. But now tell us, what way did you mean that?
Well, how I mean it is first of all, I don't believe in people being given housing, okay, or given anything for an indefinite period of time. It creates slums. It created Cabrini Greens.
Cabrini Greens, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm familiar with that property. But I believe that we should have a place where somebody can rent an apartment and it doesn't cost them an arm and a leg, or a house and it doesn't cost them an arm and a leg.
You know what I say?
What do you say?
The rent's too high.
Well, the rent may be high, but it's because we don't have, our own citizens don't have access to those properties.
Wow.
So you need to realize that somebody is living in them. Who's living in them if it's not the citizens of our country? Or if it's not the veterans that are on the street? Who's living in that property?
I seem to remember, like last week, the HUD director, the Secretary of HUD, Dr. Ben Carson, he kind of ran into that problem, if I'm not mistaken. Someone was asking him, why are you kicking these people out? And he's saying, I'm kicking them out because it's against the law for them to be here because they're undocumented aliens. Is that?
That's correct. He's awesome.
That's what we're talking about, huh? Okay. Yeah.
Love that man. That seemed like a stretch when Trump appointed him to that position, because he goes from being a neurosurgeon to the head of HUD. I thought it was absolutely brilliant.
Me too. I mean, if the man's smart enough to get up in your brain and do brain surgery, I don't think being the Secretary of HUD is brain surgery. No pun intended, right?
No, I don't either. And I think anybody with that has a good common sense under their belt, can start. But
could have done it, yeah.
Yeah. But he also has that administrative ability.
Right.
And I think that's needed for something like HUD, because you have to get in there And you just really have to act like an accountant and start going through those accounts and finding out where is that money being spent.
That's why I wasn't really keen on a woman that, she bust out on them with all that alphabet acronyms, Oreo and all that. If you're trying to show somebody up that's, still learning in the industry, you can hit them with all kind of acronyms. I'm sure there's a lot of acronyms in real estate that if you started talking...
There is. I don't use them.
See what I mean?
I mean, we have terms like POF, which stands for proof of funds.
Okay.
Then I don't, email my clients and say, send me your POF and sign this and do that and use an acronym.
Yeah,
That's so unfair.
Exactly, and that's what she did to Dr. Ben Carson, which created that infamous Oreo type of, moment, soundbite or whatever. And I thought that was disingenuous of her. The man's intelligent enough. Talk to him in straight talk, and I think that's the way you're going to deal with people when they deal with you about real estate, just straight talk, huh?
That is the only way I deal with people is straight talk.
Look at you. Ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly why this nexus with the Southside Unicorn is happening, because it's all about keeping it real. You can, well, let me just segue here for a second. I had a guy this morning on Twitter try to talk to me in a language or a term, right? That was just disingenuous from the start. And I told him, I don't suffer fools lightly. Don't get this twisted. I'm here to entertain and to inform, and I'm your servant. I'm here to do just that. I want people to be able to put on the headphones or listen to the show and just relax. But don't be trying to clown people. That the minute you try to clown people, you're being disingenuous, and you or myself, I'm sure we don't have time for that.
No, we don't. And, I don't memorize sales techniques or pitches or anything like that. Every conversation I have with a client is personalized for them. There it is. And that's the exact spirit and essence that we're doing this. So, ladies and gentlemen, the rest of it's up to you. Because, it's sort of like they say, if they build it, they will come. Well, here it is. Here's the chair. Come sit down. Let's get this going on. Because, when we do the show the way we're doing it, we're having just a nice tableside conversation, here in the studio and discussing the issues of the day, real estate. It's all kind of blended together because it all does blend together. It's not like your house is going to be in the land of make-believe with, Mr. Rogers. Your house is going to be in America, in some community, somewhere. So the insights and the wisdom of Lita when it comes to helping you with your home is some of the things we're trying to showcase today, so they get a good feel of exactly who it is they're about to head. Because let me get this straight. Isn't it true that when you buy a home, what is that, the second most important or the first most important? That's your first most important investment, and usually the highest. Yeah, because you already what? I don't think, could you, if I had $100,000, am I buying a house? Well, I'd have to have your credit checked first, Kenny. No. I mean, no, I'm good on that. Watch this. The way they said, I got white people credit. I know she's all looking shocked, everybody. Watch this. Lita's up here looking shocked. We're going to have to break her in and help her understand. The Southside Unicorn Show is, it's half nerd, half homeboy. Sometimes the homeboy in me comes out and just got to deal with it. Yeah, no, I'm talking about, is there a house out there for $100,000 in California? You're not going to buy just the whole house. Okay, I mean, not a down payment. Is there a home out there? See, she's laughing already. I asked the wrong question. Is it? Now she can't stop laughing. That's bad, y'all. That means no. I'm thinking really, really hard on that one because I try to keep track of real estate in the most remote areas. You'd be surprised. But when she says remote, right. I already got visions of like swamp and. I really can't think of any place where you can get a house for $100,000. It's okay. You can go ahead and laugh. I just did that to make a point. You're not getting no house for no $100,000 in California. No. Well, I don't know if the Taxifornia cartel keeps going. Maybe. Yeah, if everybody moves up out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, I just threw that in for some fun. Ain't nowhere in the world you're getting that house. But, really, you're right. It's the largest, purchase that you'll make in your lifetime. And the median house price in California is what now? Well, that kind of goes area by area. Mm-hmm. Okay, so like if you're in San Diego County, you're going to be quite a bit higher.
Okay.
Riverside County, it depends on what area you're in. It's better if somebody just calls me and asks me, because it's just all over the map.
So
I
for
mean,
more
your
information,
best
just call
buys,
you.
if somebody was going to say, if I was going to say, somebody could live there, the Inland Empire, there are some communities that actually have very good buys, and there are good schools too.
Okay.
So,
and see, that's what I'm thinking. I'm looking at, this is the IE, the Inland Empire. That's where the Southside Unicorn Show rises up out of. For those of you all across the world, and I want to just keep saying that, thank you so much. It really means so much to us to look up on those demographics, and we see you everywhere. And your educational levels are all over the place, which is great. That means the show appeals to everybody. It's got a great gender mix, income, everything. So thank you all so much. But, living in the IE, right, I look at, like, Riverside. If someone was going to try to get a home in Riverside, is that going to be an easy fix or a difficult fix? I mean, they're growing by leaps and bounds, and it looks to me like Riverside really has their act together, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I love the downtown area of Riverside, and it just depends on what kind of house. I mean, everything goes back to, Kenny, is what can the person afford? Okay, what are they comfortable with? Sometimes people don't buy as much as they can afford. They prefer to be comfortable. And one of the issues that, I would never want to do is force them into a loan that's going to be expensive just so they can get in a house and then they're strapped.
Well, you know what? That reminds me. That's what I was, wanting to talk to you about, some of the pitfalls of the real estate game, right? And I remember there was a time, not so long ago, there were people literally writing their income on brown paper bags and going into banks, and they were literally giving them homes. I heard a horror story about a young lady in Las Vegas, worked for McDonald's. They sold her a $750,000 condo on a McDonald's salary, totally ruined her life. These are the type of pitfalls that I would imagine.
That's not going to happen in this day and age. After
that day
the
is
bubble
over?
burst, that's way over.
So now it's got some sense back to it, more
Right,
regulation?
it does. There's standard paperwork that everybody has to deliver, and there are other loans that people can get, like they can get a bridge loan. We won't get into details of that
We'll
today.
get into it in the next 4
And
weeks.
I'm not a
What is this and
lender,
what is
so
that?
I have to be cautious about what I say about loans. But in this day and age, there's absolute paperwork that every lender has to do. The only difference between every lender is that some are order takers for institutions.
What does that mean?
That means you call up, they check the boxes. If you didn't check the right boxes, it's going to be a problem.
Oh.
And if that's why you deal with somebody who's got some time in the industry and they're aware of the many different types of loans. There's grants, there's first-time buyer loans. There's many loans you can do. There are loans you can buy a fixer-upper with.
Okay, and even that wouldn't be $100,000, huh? Yeah, I just got this idea about houses in California.
It's gonna make me laugh.
Exactly. So yeah, I was just wanting to talk to you about some of the pitfalls and whatnot that happen in homes, and we've kind of discussed that. And again, this is the third segment of the Southside Unicorn Show on Smooth Sunday, and we now have the addition of Lelita AMICK. And even in the third section, can I ask you to go ahead and give your contact information again, real quick?
Absolutely. Let me give you my California license at 00559068. Telephone number is 760-637-1375. Please call or text. If you're at work, send me a text with the time that's best for you
What
to
about
talk.
the email address?
Email address is L as in Lita, F as in Frank, AMICK, AMICK. That's lfamick@gmail.com. You can send your questions to me at that address.
So basically, you just got yourselves a realtor, ladies and gentlemen. If you're out there listening to the Southside Unicorn Show and you have some real estate issues, properties, questions, we just hooked you up. Take advantage of it. Make those contacts, make those calls, and let's get this ball rolling on that. And speaking of getting the ball rolling, we have to take a station break again, and we'll be right back after these messages with the fourth segment. You don't want to miss it, because I'm going to pick Lita's brain and get an insight on some of the issues of the day. That's going to be really fun. Let me tell you. You should hear some of the things that we talk about off the show. So we're not going to go into those super conversations, but we're going to get real close. We'll be right back after these messages. Stay tuned.
It's Joy Villa, and I'm reminding you to tune in to the Southside Unicorn Show, hosted by my friend Ken White.
Do just what you want. You're the one I trust. I belong to you.
Hi, friends. Kim White here, host of the Southside Unicorn Show. Tax season is upon us. Make your money go further. Simply repair the car you own now and save money. Go see my friend Jake at Redlands Complete Auto Repair, or RCAR, Car for short, located at 1647 Redlands Boulevard, Suite L, 92327, or call 909-307-9599. Tell him Ken sent you, or better yet, tell him you saw a unicorn and received 10% discount and free diagnosis. On the 10 freeway, exit Alabama off-ramp, head south to Redlands Boulevard, then turn west. He's on your left-hand side, Suite L. Look for the big red L, R-Car, Redlands Complete Auto Repair. Work you can trust. I know I do. Hey, everybody. Thank you for staying with the Southside Unicorn Show on Smooth Sunday. We have Lelita AMICK with us, and she will be joining us on the show on Sundays from this point forward. She is a real estate expert and a patriot, and we've been talking about all kind of stuff. First segment, we opened it up by introducing you to Lelita. Second segment, we talked about immigration and the state of the nation. Third segment, we, segued around on some things and basically got to talking about the pitfalls of real estate and some of the things you need to prepare yourself for if you're going to become a home owner. Now we're in the fourth segment, and the fourth segment is a little bit more conversation with Lita. Because I'm telling you, she has a keen sense of ideas on the issues of the day. And the cool part is, it's always nice when you talk to someone, even get to know them, and you go, hey, that's what I think too. That's the same way I feel about the situation. So this is yours truly, Kim White, host of the Southside Unicorn Show, and I'm going to introduce Lita to you. And I'm going to do it in this way. Check this out. We had a situation last week where, well, actually it's been a month now. Believe it or not, it's been a month almost to the day that Mueller finally said, "My give up. And like Jar Jar Binks or somebody, he's like, "My give up." And so he did the Mueller report and basically said in 448 pages, there's no there. This is a nothing burger. The man didn't do nothing, sorta, maybe, kinda, possibly. And so that really, that set up a whole new storm as far as the Mueller investigation, the Russian collusion went. And I just want to pick Lita's brain on that. What do you think about that, Lita?
Well, Ken, I'll tell you what I think.
What?
It was their circus, their monkeys, and they still don't think the show is over.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, wait a minute. I look at it this way. If you put a man up against a wall, and you take, how many lawyers was it? Like 15, 16,
I
20?
think it was more than that. And I think weren't they all friends of, you know who?
That's my point. Yeah. She doesn't even want to mention a woman's name. But watch this. Okay, you got 16 of your enemies. I mean, these people ain't down with you. They're not down with Trump. And so you hand them a quiver. I got a chance to use that word. A quiver of arrows, right?
Right.
And a bow. Because some people will look at an arrow and they're like, oh, a bow and arrow. Have you ever noticed how people do that sometimes?
Yes, I have noticed that.
No, it's not a bow and arrow. All you have is an arrow. But if you have a bunch of arrows in a quiver, so they got them, right? And they tell them, take all the shots you want at Trump. Make sure you hit him, get him. And all of them miss?
Well, I don't think that was a quiver of arrows. I think that was a batch of boomerangs.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, every time they threw it, now that was really good, Lita.
Yeah, wasn't that good?
That was better than a quiver of arrows, let me tell you. Okay, I'll put my arrows back. Even my arrows missed the mark.
That's okay, Ken. It happens.
Thank you. I feel better now. Yeah, she came back with one even better. She's right. Those were boomerangs. Everything they threw at him just came right back on them. Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
But, you know, I'd hate to be Mueller in Mueller's position right now. And it's kind of like being Comey. It's like how to stay alive. You know that song, Staying Alive, Staying Alive, Staying Alive? That's what I think's going on right now.
Yeah. But you know, I'm going to tell you, Comey's really scaring me because, watch this, knowing what we know now about all of that, about the dossier and Steele and all that, and then you look at Comey's tweets, right? You see them.
Right.
My man, Cray. That's why Trump fired him. That man got problems. He is delusional. He's actually still talking like he's not guilty. No, I'm like, come on, man. Look, we don't need no rocket scientists here. You, my friend, is he not the first one that should go to jail?
Yeah, but he looks really stressed to me.
Mm-hmm,
I mean, seriously, even though I don't care for him, his associations and his politics, that is one scared dude.
Oh, yeah. He's in a panic. And if you check on my Twitter, which is @KenWhite4444, you'll see all the way through. I mean, come on. I was saying this to Comey back when it probably wasn't very smart to be saying those things to him or about him. I'm talking all the way back in the beginning, in the early days. I told Comey, this is a lie. You keep trying to act like God is with you. Woe unto anybody out there that keeps trying to make you think that God is with them. Like Pelosi, I'm going to pray for the president. You have no authority with the Hebrew God behaving the way you do. So you really need to watch yourself before the Holy Spirit evidences the truth about you in a very strange way. But yeah, with Comey, I'm absolutely nervous for this dude because he's guilty. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And his day is coming.
Yeah.
And yet he's out there talking about, look all you want, we don't care. That's delusional, wouldn't you say?
I really would. And it's one of those situations. I'm a firm believer and kind of an aficionado about watching body language. Mm-hmm. And I think it goes along with my business and real estate too. But he looks to me like someone who's guilty and scared, and he's just as pedaling as fast as he can. And you know, the problem is you brought up the spiritual aspect of it. Mm-hmm. Is I don't care, you know, how powerful somebody thought they were at one time, or how impervious they were to justice, but at some point, that small voice on the inside of you, unless you're just violently evil, is telling you that you're not going to get away with it.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
That's pay now or pay later.
Exactly. And then here's the other part that people don't want to admit this, and this is, you know, this is the part that really gets me about us as human beings and as believers and all of that. We all act like we get to pick who God wants. You know, God chooses who he uses, first of all. Don't we agree?
Right.
And I find it so funny that everybody wants to act like there's no room at the cross for Trump. Of all the creatures that God has ever made, because of your political poison, because of your toxicity in a political contest, you're going to try to behave as if though there's no room at the cross for Donald J. Trump. Well, watch this. I remember hearing a part of Scripture that says, no weapon formed against me shall prosper.
Correct.
I don't see none of this stuff working on this man, do you?
No, it isn't. And I find him kind of amazing because there's I think all of us know that when you're confronted with a crazy person, in his case, a lot of crazy people.
Cray.
Okay? You can't be nice and reasonable.
No.
You know, they don't respect nice and reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, he just gets in there and he gives it right back.
Put
I think it's awesome.
He reminds, he is. He reminds me of that song from Seal. You know, and you guys know me in my karaoke. You know I love doing karaoke. So you, Lelita, just gave me a chance to crack out into a song real quick.
Okay,
ready?
That's good. But don't ask me to sing, otherwise we'll lose all of our listeners.
Well, here we go. Ready? Oh, we're never going to survive unless we get a little crazy. Remember that song from
Okay. That's 1 for 10.
Well, thank you, Bow. And that's what I'm saying. Trump is doing it the right way. You're not going to survive unless you get a little crazy. This what's that guy's name? Mitt Romney. Ugh.
Yeah.
Mitt Romney style ain't working. We can't have that.
No.
You know what I mean? John Kasich. I was floored because I saw the other day where he's actually thinking about throwing his hat in the ring. John Kasich.
Why?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, stop hating all the time, man. Damn. That's the only way I know how to say that. But, as we get into the last parts of the show, Lita, I just want to make sure that everybody understands that you are now a part of the Smooth Sundays, which will have a real estate component to it to help you all prepare yourselves to purchase a home, sell a home. Make sure that you have all your jots and tittles. I love that word, right? Get all that dots and tittles together so that you're ready for the process, because it's a pretty lengthy process, is it or is it not?
It is quite a process, and but the idea is not to put the stress on you, okay? The idea is for us to get you prepared. It's just like you prepare for anything. If you're going to play a golf game, whatever you're going to do, you got to prepare. And that's what we do, is we get you prepared so that when you are ready to either sell your house or buy a home or both, it's not as stressful as it could be if you did the old shoot, ready, aim.
Because we have you as a, here's another one of those words I like to try to, Sherpa.
Yes.
You're the Sherpa. There it is. Lelita AMICK, the Sherpa of real estate.
I'm having a hard time wrapping my mind around that visually, but go ahead.
But you see it, right? They guide you through the Himalayas and all of that, right?
Yeah.
Let Lelita AMICK guide you through the real estate process like a Sherpa, and get these people to a nice place, which is, from the, what do you call it? Basically, from handing them an application to handing them the keys. I think that's, So let me ask you a question. When it comes to this real estate game, what's the fastest you've ever turned a house around?
5 days.
Huh?
5. I've done 2 transactions that took 5 days. They were both distress transactions.
Mm-hmm.
The properties were about to be foreclosed on. And like I said, I always make sure I've got a good team behind me helping.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a hold of the banks and got everything lined up. My transaction coordinator did all her part, and we got her done. 2 of them.
Get her done. Get her
That's
done.
right. I'm
That's
South
right.
Dakota. You
Really?
betcha. Get her done.
Get her done. See, and that's what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. We have brought you the best. We got you ready, set, go here. You got the hookup right now. So, at some point, Lita, let's go ahead and let them know how to get in touch with you, because sadly, we're about to run out of show. So it's on you. I know, it goes so fast, right?
It did.
And how do
how you get a hold of me is, it's Lelita AMICK again, 760-637-1375. Email lfamick@gmail.com. My California license number is 00559068. Have a fabulous Sunday evening.
That's right. This is Karen White and
Lelita AMICK
on the Southside Unicorn Show on Smooth Sunday. And thank you for your time. I hope you learned something, use the resources that we gave you, and we are out.
Take me in your arms, do just what you want. You're the one I trust. I belong to you, and I'll always be around when I need some loving, baby. And I'll never let you down, let you down, let you down. I'm your song, and you're playing all my melodies. There's no one else, 'cause baby we got chemistry. You give me feelings that I never knew. This heart of mine will always and forever belong to you. You and me were meant to be as one.